Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're going to be doing some crafting with some things that I picked up from the thrift store and also some things that I wanted to do for in my own home. Um, if you haven't been in the stores and you know that it's really hard to find Christ-centered Easter decor. I looked on Etsy and found a few things, but if you go in the store, it's pretty obsolete. You can't really find much. And I wanted to do a banner that I actually saw, I think, on Etsy. That was about $30 that had like Bible verses that related to what we're celebrating. And I couldn't get my printer to cooperate with me. So that kind of got shot out the window. And I thought, I have this old hymn book that I have done a couple other crafts with. And I thought I'll just make myself a banner out of hymns that, relate to like the Calvary and like there is a fountain and he arose and there's power in the blood. And so I just cut out all those different ones. And we're just going to make our own little banner. And so I just used this little piece here as a pattern. I kind of sized it to what I needed for my little pieces. And then we're cutting all of them down to the same. You can see that one page on the right over there is already kind of like old looking. I did coffee stain on it. And so I'll show you here in a minute how I coffee stain the rest of them. And then I'm just using this little piece off of one of my kids' banners as like a stencil to cut out my scrapbook paper. And I just picked out some scrapbook paper that I already had on hand that kind of coordinated with what I'm wanting to do in my living room for spring and for Easter. And the whole reason this banner came about was I have like a little place when you walk in our front door that I usually hang a little banner for spring and Easter and like 4th of July, fall, winter, Christmas, that I usually keep that one there. And my little girl actually asked me the other day and said, well, Mama, why don't we have a banner there? Because I usually keep one there for the seasons and holidays and stuff. And so I thought, I want to make one, but I want to make one that is represents what we're celebrating and it reminds my kids, what we're celebrating. And so I thought, hey, I'll make it myself and we'll do some Bible verses. Of course, like I said, that didn't work out, but I think the hymns is really good too. As I was reading over these hymns, our preacher actually mentioned in church the other day that they just don't make hymns like this no more, like songs like this no more. And he is so right. If you sit down and read the words to these songs, and sometimes I think that's good to do, is like cut out the music and just read the words to some of these hymns. It's really, really good. And I was reading over like there is a fountain, and the first verse says there is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's veins, and sinners plunge beneath that flood lose all their guilty stains. And then just all the different ones, redeemed, how I love to proclaim it, redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, redeemed by his infinite mercy, his child forever I am. And just the words to these songs, it's just that he's right. They just don't make them like that no more. And so, as you can see, I kind of roughed up some of them after I tea stained them. I wanted to kind of give them a little bit more age. I sanded down some of them. Some of them I rolled up in a ball. Some of them I kind of tore little pieces off of them. I didn't really want any of them to look exactly the same. And so we just want, a little bit different on each one. This one here, you can see it's really wrinkled. That's one of the ones I like scrunched up. And so we're just going to go ahead and add it to our twine. And you can get twine anywhere. I mean, from Walmart, Dollar Tree. It's really affordable. I keep some on hand because I use it for a lot of different things. And so we're just going to go ahead and add these to it. And then we're going to hang it. And I ended up doing, I think, 9 for the area that I needed. I picked up this jar from the thrift store for 75 cents, and I really liked the shape of it. And then I did pick up these little eggs from Dollar General. They were, you get 9 of the large ones and 15 of the smaller ones. And I'm just going to take them out. And they were actually $1 a piece for each bag. And I'm going to take out the blue and the green ones because I really don't want those in mine, but you can use all of them however you want to do it. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of, a little centerpiece that you can make for like a table setting, or if you have like a large, get together and you have several tables and you're looking for like an affordable, little centerpiece that you can make for them. This one is really cute. And then I took out the red and green eggs, and then I'm gonna add in the pink and the purple and the yellow. And then these stems I did pick up from Dollar General. I had stems I could use, but I did want to share with you, things that you could get right now if you wanted to make this. So you can't get these stems from Dollar General, and all of these stems were only $1 a piece. They had the lamb's ear, the pink one, and the lavender. And I really like this lavender. You actually got a good bit with this lavender for $1. And so we're just going to arrange these into the jar. And it's worked out good because the way that these are, you can hide your stems and they kind of just go down into the center of the eggs. And so you don't see the stems through the glass. And so it ends up being a really cute little arrangement that you can use, like I said, for a table setting, or you could add into a vignette, just to add that little touch of spring and Easter. I found this little vase at the thrift store for 50 cents, and I thought this would be the perfect size to create like a little cloche for my little bunny that I picked up from the Target dollar spot. So I got these glass knobs from Amazon, and I will link them down below. I can't remember for sure how much they was, but you get like 6. And they came in a silver on the bottom, and I didn't really want the silver, so I took some antique gold rub and buff and just did that on the bottom of it. And then I picked up this B7000 glue, to glue this onto my glass. And I'm not going to touch this for a good about 48 hours till it sets really good and bonds really good to that glass. And then I'm going to use some of this reindeer moss on a little saucer that I thrifted, and we're going to put our little bunny on there, and then we'll add our little cloche that we made. I really want to find some bigger glass pieces to create some more of these. That's why I ended up getting like a pack of 6 of these knobs, because I'm like, I'm going to be making more of these for sure. I think they're so cute. So I picked up this little like glass votive, from the thrift store for 50 cents, and we're going to create like a little pressed flower votive with these pressed flowers that I picked up from Amazon. You can get them on Amazon. I think I paid maybe $6 or $7 for mine. Now, back when I had time as a teenager and in my 20s, I spent a lot of time pressing flowers. My dad made me a beautiful press, I think when I was 16 or 17, I believe. And I still have it, and I want to get back into doing it because I really enjoyed it so much. I really enjoy gardening and, just like drying flowers and pressing flowers. It's one of the things that I have not got to do for years, but I really would like to get back into doing that. So that's kind of my goal this summer, is to kind of get back into doing some pressed flowers and things like that. But we're just going to use these on here, and what I would recommend is put a layer of Mod Podge onto your glass first, and then when you add your flower, start on the edges of the flower and kind of nail them down, and then go over like the center, because these are very flimsy, so if you're rough with it, they're going to fall apart pretty easy. So just do that, put a layer of Mod Podge, then start on the outer layer of your flower. And these little tweezers are really great for picking them up because they are, like I said, very fragile, and this really helps. And it comes with the tweezers, so that's great. And I was thinking, I think I've seen on Instagram or somewhere that people were getting together, like girlfriends and stuff getting together in the spring and having like a tea party and doing these as a craft, like on candles, or, creating your own art piece, or even just throwing them on like little glass pieces that you picked up from the thrift store. I think that is such a fun little get together to do. So if you haven't seen that, there's an idea for you. If you have time to get together with your girlfriends or something and just do something like this, like a little craft together, and have tea and make it just a fun little get together. But we're just going to add all these on here. And you can do it however you want to do it. I added on this one green leaf, and I kind of looked back over it later and I was like, I should have added a little bit more green. But you know what? Do it how you want to do it. I think the pressed flowers are so pretty that it really doesn't have to have, a set way that you do it. You just put it on there and it's going to look pretty anyway. So I thrifted this grapevine wreath for $3 from the thrift store, and I'm going to make a wreath for in my dining room. My dining room is really neutral, and I thought it'd be fun to add like a colorful spring wreath. And all these florals that I'm using, I've had on hand. I'm going to be adding in some greenery first that I had, and then I also going to add in some other florals. Most of them are from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Thrifting, Walmart, and I used to make like customer wreaths, and so I just had some leftover pieces from that. And so we're just using what I had on hand. And I'm not going to glue anything down because I like to leave them to where I could change this out later if I want to, because I do that frequently. And so I like to not have it glued down to where I can change it. These little hydrangeas were actually still brand new from Walmart. Can't remember when I got those, but they were in my tote of florals, and so I thought they would be pretty added in here with some mauve pink color flowers that I've had. I got these from Dollar General for a penny a couple years ago, and I just think they're a real pretty color. And I'm adding that mauve into my dining room for Easter and for spring, and so I thought these would all kind of coordinate with what I'm wanting to do on my table setting for Easter, which hopefully I'm going to get to share with y'all my table setup for Easter. And I thought these colors would look really good. And then the little blue like pom-pom flowers, they match my cabinet that's in my dining room. So I thought this all pulled together really good, and I just like how it turned out. But that's all that I have for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you join my channel. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next one.